there have been important changes in the opportunities of white, non-college educated people born in the 1940s compared with those born in the 1960s. They make up for at least 60% of people in these cohorts. My colleagues and I uncover several important new facts. First, over all of their life cycle, the wages of white, non-college educated men were 9% lower for the cohorts born in the 1960s than for those born in the 1940s. In contrast, the wages of white, non-college educated women went up by 7% between the 1940s and 1960s birth cohorts. Importantly, these findings are not due to large increases in college graduation rates and thus to a worsening of human capital of the group that we look at. We dig deeper and discover that wages as a function of human capital dropped at all human capital levels for men and at most human capital levels for women. Therefore, the observed increase in women's wages was due to an increase in their human capital, that is, in their education and labor market experience. In addition, the lower one's human capital, the more their wage dropped. Thus, the most disadvantaged experienced the largest wage decreases across generations. This effect was particularly strong for men. Second, we compute expected out-of-pocket medical expenses during all of the retirement period for white, non-college educated men and women in the 40s and the 60s birth cohorts, and find that these medical expenses will increase by 80% across these two cohorts. Third, we compute life expectancy in middle age and at retirement time and find that it is going down by 1 to 2 years. After documenting these changes, we introduce them in a rich structural model of couples and singles and find that they increase the labor supply of women, and especially the married ones, while they decreased that of married men later in life. This is because the labor market prospects of white, non-college educated women as a function of human capital did not decrease as much as that of men. We also find that overall, these changes increased savings due to increasing medical expenses. Finally, we compute that they had large welfare costs. We compute these welfare costs as one-time asset compensations that make people indifferent between the 1960s and the 1940s wages, medical expenses, and life expectancy. They amount, as a fraction of the present discounted value of their lifetime income, to 13% for single men, 8% for couples, and 7% for single women. As you can see, these worsening opportunities were also very costly in terms of welfare. We study one thing at a time. We are next turning to evaluating the opportunities and outcomes of non-white college-educated people in the same birth cohorts.